Hey you guys, welcome back to another fun-filled, scattered NNKH video where doing a few things. So we're gonna update you on a couple items in the garage. We're gonna diagnose some items on this Tundra, get that rectified, and we're going to pick up a Grand Marquis that's been sitting, might be taking the bed off the F-250, seal that F-250 deal, and whatever else. So let's just dive right into it. Start with a few updates. As you can see, it's a wreck. Like, this is how I work, and it's terrible. As soon as I dig into one project, I start something else, and they all kind of get intertwined together, and then you end up with this. And this is not a safe or productive way to be. So, wheels. Everything's going on wheels in this garage. I put the drill press on casters. It rolls around good. Yes. Oh, there goes that. Yes, it's a little bit tippy, you know, but works well. You can see I have it offset that way quite a bit because this motor was making it fall backwards quite a bit. But moving right along, over here, you may have noticed on the second channel video, this new rack for storing metal. I didn't do a video on it, but I had some free strut rod that we got dumpster diving a while back, and just welded it all together and made it work. I'm starting to get in this mood where, like, I'm a procrastinator. I mean, when I want to build something or do something, I start thinking up, and then I'm like, no, I could do it this way, or I could do that, or oh, I should order this for it. And I'm starting to just be like, let me just take what I have, slap it together, be done. And that's what we came up with here. So put the file cabinet all the way up top, and it is sturdy. The file cabinet's bolted up to the girder, whatever that's called, beam up there. We're blocked, and this is a very, very heavy duty file cabinet. It's actually made by a fireproofing company. But anyway, we got little number 4 rebars in here that slide in the slots. So as you want to change the heights, say you're like, hey, I don't like it this way, it's not permanent. And this is for 24 inches to, I think it was 32 inches is the longest, and that's up high. So we got the chain organization. I think I may have showed that before, but oh, that's falling over. Went ahead and put some pegboard holes inside of here, so we got all the chains organized, nice and neat. Speaking of wheels, I got some casters I'm about to throw on the bench grinder stand. So instead of having one, I cut some pipe, welded that on, and took the other stand, and so now we got dueling bench grinders. A sink. Put this in yesterday. We got hot and cold water ran out because, you know, when we built the garage, we put some conduit on the ground, and so I got a 3/4 inch cold coming out, and then a 1/2 inch hot, all the way to that's a direct run all the way to the water heater. And surprisingly, it gets hot water really quick. That comes on over. We have our garden hose adapter. Speaking of making things, I was in Home Depot, and I was gonna buy a garden hose hook. It was like 10-15 bucks for one of those little pieces of steel ones. And I'm like, man, that's so dumb. Why don't I just fabricate one, make one? So I took this little 6-0 keg, an old brake rotor, I cut that in half, and so it screws into the 2x4 that's behind here. Yeah, it's perfect. As you can see, I spilled the purple primer and the glue. How does one manage? I don't know. Other items to mention, we got the dueling mufflers mounted up on the compressor along with the intake muffler. I think I showed that. And this is for if you want to drain the tank real quick, you can open that valve and it's not super loud. Also, the condensation drain on the bottom, much quieter. It's blowing that into there. If you leave one of these exposed, it is obnoxiously loud when that goes off. You can see with this PVC, like, you would have thought I had everything I needed to do that sink, but I still ended up having to go to Home Depot. But this is just from over the years. I have boxes of the stuff and then kind of dumped it everywhere. I'm gonna get that reorganized. I'm literally tripping over stuff as I'm walking through here. Next item I wanted to show you was the motorcycle lift that we can now stand up on the wall. This table weighs almost 300 pounds. It's got a pneumatic cylinder. It's pretty heavy duty. And a little while later, like 2 hours, I have restored order in here. Got the PVC all organized, you know, 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 2, and then miscellaneous plumbing. This used to just all be in one box. Miscellaneous stuff I've found over the years in garages or kept it from projects, and I like to, you know, recycle and reuse. And got some casters on the, oh geez, see, when you're looking at the camera, it can get even clumsier than usual. Look at that, boom. And then if you're like, oh, gotta lock it out, you can hit the casters, each of them. I mean, you know, it's good. You just foot it and then you can grind away on it. You can hear we're getting a little bit of a rain out there. It's pretty bad when it downpours, but not the worst. You know, the insulation helped out some. Now, where should I put all? PVC can live up here for now. I don't use it that often. A lot of times people ask, how do you keep the garage so organized? I spent countless hours in here making it that way. But so it does pay you back in the future when you're actually doing a project and you can find things. Pays you back big time in the dividends, if that's the right word. Interest, whatever you would call it. Well, touching on this motorcycle lift, it's a handy airlift made by Western Manufacturing Corporation in Marshmallowtown, Iowa. Top quality unit, and I think I spoke a little bit about this in previous videos, but we have the larger wheels machined for a press fit on the bearings. That way the table goes up higher, and extended these legs, added some more bungs so you have more adjustability, because these were the only ones originally. I wanted to be able to stand it up, and you engineer guys are probably, oh, that's so easy. But not for me, so I was brainstorming ideas. I'm like, whatever I put on here, I want to be able to be removable. So this is, you just pop this one nut off, and then this is sleeved into some 2-inch square tubing, and this is what it, I don't know if that's 2 inch, I guess 1.5 inches. And then these legs. So the idea was I wanted to be able to stand this up without having to lower it, if I want to throw it up real quick, and also stand it up without having to raise it. So that's, I did have to add these little guys to limit this from going up, and a chain to hook the table for when it's in the down position. And over on the wall, we just got a couple pulleys. I actually have to order some bearing pulleys for this, because that double, those stainless steel ones, they bind quite a bit. I'm sorry, another major part of this system is these little guys to prevent it from kicking out. Couple 1/2 inch redhead inserts in the concrete, and then washers to prevent the square tubing from scoring up. Oh, but here we go. Well, if we want to get this out of the way without lowering it, we leave the leg extensions off, and then you quite simply lift the table up, and it's actually not that heavy since most of the weight seems to be over there. You can roll this around as need be, and one thing I was thinking about doing is adding a lock on here, so God forbid this kicks out, this would pinch down on you, but weight really holds that in place, and you can see the air cylinder starts lowering itself down right now. So all you do is roll it on over to your bolts, and then you grab your hook, lock her on, and here we go. So as you get over to the wall, you hook it up on the back so it can't come off. It's kind of balancing itself right now though. It's now chained to the wall, so I can pull back on this, and then, oh, there we go. It has a lot of gravity pushing it against. So that works well, but the only downside is if somebody doesn't know this system, they go to lower it without extending these legs. The geometry doesn't work right, and it will pop off of those and kind of slam into the wall. So not good. Maybe put notes on there, right? To take it down, you just drop her out, lock this, unhook it, and let her go to town. You can now roll around wherever you want to go, and then drop it into place. So the second method, safer, is throwing these legs on. Push it into place, or use the dolly on the back. Hook her up. And go to town. It takes a lot more force within this position. That's why I need some better pulleys. Because those under load just bind up. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to lock the legs out. That's why you gotta lock the legs, because then this happens. Yeah, if you lock the legs out, it goes much smoother than that. The problem is when you're coming down if the legs aren't locked. Anyway, in that position, you really don't have to lock it against the wall at all because it takes a lot of force to pull that down, but of course, you still should. So anyway, that's the contraption. And now on to the Tundra, AKA the submarine, since she was submerged in the Delaware River. What a fun evening that was. This has been doing something very weird lately. It doesn't start back up after it's been sitting, after I like fill up the gas. I'm gonna try to diagnose that. And I also wanted to say thank you to my buddy Alex, because he called me, he's got a Jeep with a 3.6 Pentastar, one of those new Jeep pickup Gladiator things, Gladiator, and he was having some pinging or detonation on the highway when he's accelerating. And you guys know that can be from low octane or carbon buildup. It's a new vehicle. Anyway, he ended up putting a PCV on it to fix it, and he said it worked fine. Well, this here truck has had a ping on the highway pretty much since I've had it. Since I had it with 60,000 miles on it, and if I put high octane in it, 93, it goes away. Run 87, if you're running hard, you might hear it sometimes, then the computer retards the timing to take it away with the knock sensor. But I'm like, hey, maybe I'll throw a PCV on there and see what that does, and by golly, never a ping ever again. Let's show you this catch can. What was I just calling them a minute ago? I don't know. It's catch can, PCV catch can. So all I did was tag into it on my engine. It's right there, and I don't know how well you can see it, but boom, that little guy. And yes, I know it's a very elementary thing, but just didn't really think to add one. Apparently, the oil vapor going into the intake lowers the effective octane, and wow, yeah, actually captured quite a bit. So ever since putting this in, it's Amazon special. It's not even an expensive one. I think it was maybe 30 bucks. Perfect. And this is especially important if you have a turbo engine or GDI, direct injection, because you're not getting the regular PCV system will end up gumming the valves up really bad on the backside because the injectors aren't cleaning them. But I didn't think to add it on this one. It took care of the ping though, big time. Might as well empty it out while we're here, right? For now, I just have that kind of tucked in here, sitting there, but seems to be fine. I know you guys are looking at all the junk under the hood. I promise you everything's pretty secure. It's not going anywhere, but hopefully never have an engine fire under here because there's plenty more to burn. I mean, there's already plenty of stuff to burn. It's nice having this stuff handy. I'll show you this starting issue now. So it's been sitting for a while. It's not warm whatsoever. Where the heck are my keys? And here's how she goes. Well, it was a little bit different. I mean, it wasn't a complete cold start, but you hear it fired right up. So I'm gonna shut it off and do a restart. I can't get it to do it now. I guess I'll let it warm up. You might notice the engine light's on. The codes are, I think it was canister vent valve circuit and incorrect purge flow, but had those same codes for probably years now, and I haven't messed with it. I'm gonna let it sit here and warm up. And I actually just got the phone call that the guy wants to come tomorrow to pick this F-250 up. He had left me a $100 deposit on this. You haven't seen the video on this one. It was on the second channel thing. I'll drop a link to it up here, but paid, after fees and everything, I'm into for $3K, and I got a guy buying it for $3,800, just the truck, no utility body. Gonna keep that for the Ram. So we gotta get that off by tomorrow, 2 p.m. A while later, it's warmed up, and I can finally duplicate this concern, because it's kind of like a new problem. I'm sure some of you guys will think, oh, the purge valve being stuck open and vapors from the tank are getting in there, and that's what's your hot start. No, because it's been like that forever, and it hasn't been an issue. Oh, I actually just figured it out, and trying to duplicate it, I couldn't once it was warm unless I left the key on. So check it out, with the key on, I heard a little noise under the hood when I was poking around. It's legit not doing it now. I heard the tiniest little tick. I got my stethoscope out and was listening around, and it turned out the injector over on this back cylinder was just randomly click, 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 click with the key on. So it's getting 12 volts, and could be because the computer was underwater in here, and that's how it gets its ground signal. But see, now I bet you it'll start up because I don't hear the clicking. Yeah, there it goes. Oh, well, I wish I would have been able to show you better. Tick, 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 tick. So it's dumping fuel in that cylinder, and that's why I'm having an issue starting it up. We'll touch back with that when I can get it to do it again. All right, next day. Let's go get this bed off. Let's bring the Gooseman out. Go pee. I'm sure some people are thinking, how could you sell this truck for $3,800? Well, I had it posted for $55, and it's a complete truck, and the jump charge on the battery. The best offer I got was around like 4, maybe a touch over 4K. So I'm pretty happy with 38, no body. I mean, the interior's kind of crusty in here. It could be cleaned up. Of course, I didn't do any of that. And see, it's got lots of oil on it over time and caused it to swell. These vents are all missing, but I did let him know it's gonna need a battery, so I'll send it off with this Optima that just doesn't really hold a charge anymore. And the cat converter's all rattly inside too. It's breaking apart, one of those aftermarket ones. Junk. Doesn't have an engine light for it yet, but I'm sure if you're driving on the highway for a while, it'll come up PO 420 cat efficiency code. There it is. Is it just me, or does anybody else absolutely love the door handles on these trucks? I mean, it's perfect design. Same as on the interior. Like, can't beat it. That's exactly where you'd be grabbing to open and close. Ingenious. And then I love, the action on the windows. And then this little divot here, it's just like the contour. It's perfect. I actually would like to get one of these in the future. Just a really clean, rust-free. This one's rust-free, but 4-wheel drive, extended cab, manual trans. Coming apart a little too easy. The one behind this gas tank that you can't get to, it had a nut. It was just sitting. It was like 4 threads on. So that's kind of convenient because you can't really get behind there very easy to the back side of the bolt. So somebody's forgetfulness or laziness hooked me up. We got all the mounting bolts, a filler neck. The wiring was just a million zip ties holding that all together. Probably forgetting a couple things, but I think it's ready to. And there is the convenience of having a lift. Could have used the wrecker, but much more likely to damage the cab. Taking it off kind of sloppy, might swing around. And here is a look at everything. So that's very, very clean for a 2002 F250. And here's that new vehicle speed sensor replaced that took care of the intermittent speedometer. Oh yeah, that thing. A little bit of rust starting, but I'll get in here, clean up whatever I can, and then undercoat it with some Blaster surface shield. Speaking of, as you guys know, Blaster does sponsor the channel, but even before that, I preferred this product much over what I was using, which was fluid film. I feel like it lasts a lot longer when hit with rain. Now, they're both a lanolin oil-based product. I read the comments you guys have said. I saw a lot of people complaining about the nozzles getting clogged up. Well, I also have had this problem recently. Here's a brand new can. Let's see how it goes on. About to spray my box. Not that I care. Yeah, perfect spray. However, this can's just about new, and look at what it's doing. Yep. So what I've been doing to correct that is just take the cap off, get yourself a small drill bit. This one's 78 thousandths. And then very carefully, without drilling through your finger, hog it into the bottom and also the black nozzle. But again, don't put your finger behind in case you drill through. So get that into the center part. Drop it back on that can that was clogged. And now check it out. Perfect. You hear a couple chunkies still coming through. So that might be a little bit bigger than you have to go. But the other thing would be storing it indoors, trying to keep it warm, because I think the clogging of the head is much more a problem when it's really cold. This stuff does lay on thick and it doesn't drip and run all off. It's a good lubricant, a good surface protectant, and just an all-around awesome product. Minus the can issue. Hopefully they can rectify that. I usually use the 5-gallon tub with a spray gun. So if you're looking to beat the rust this winter, consider trying a can out and just be prepared. You might have to drill out the nozzle. Here's that bolt I was telling you about. This one, the nut was just sitting right on it. And I guess they never got behind it to try to tighten that down. So good time to replace the fuel pump, right? Or cut an access hole in the bed, so that way if you ever get stuck on the side of the road. I'm thinking we'll put this on dollies for now, but you can see I shouldn't have used the extensions. Should have put it right on the lift, because now we got to there goes that truck. He's gonna drive it home with no lights on the back, but has his daughter following him. Off to a good home. He has a bed for it and good stuff. Next on the list is the Grand Marquis. So revisiting the warehouse in Bristol where we got the Caravel boat. And still gotta get there's a Cadillac there too, but that's the video order just got completely reversed on this one. So I guess I'll leave my truck here if we can get it started up and pick my truck up later because there's a train station right nearby. So I'm sitting here idling my Tundra for a while, waiting for him to show up to meet me, the seller, and I'm getting a little stumble at idle. You guys probably can't hear it, but it's like a So I'm wondering maybe that injector is failing right now since it's hot under the hood. Let's see, we'll turn it off, turn the key on, and then, yes, there it is. So you can hear this slight buzzing, that's just the electric throttle body, but listen to the little click back here. If I put my hand on that injector, I can feel it injecting, hitting. So maybe that's him calling me. And now let's see what it does with a restart. Hey.
Chris.
Yeah.
You're right there, I apologize.
No problem. Yeah, I'm here, I'll see you soon. All right, so with that clicking, let's hear this restart. I'm gonna do no throttle at all, and I bet you it's gonna be flooded. Yep, there it is. And it finally hits off. So that is the problem. I'm glad we were able to quickly diagnose that. I'll probably do a separate video on the second channel documenting this repair, but since it only does it while it's hot, I'm leaning toward an injector that's shorting out inside the windings or whatever the case. And if it's not that, then there's a wiring issue going to the computer or a fault in that the injector driver in that computer. Or maybe something else, I don't know, but we're getting somewhere with it. One of the weird things is it never threw an engine light for a misfire on any of the cylinders or an injector code. Like you would think if that injector was shorting out on the inside, the computer would sense that resistance and and throw a code for that, but well, maybe it is something wacky going on with the computer that's been underwater. By the way, I've recently got my airbag controller in. So the way we do that is turn the compressor on, and then right now you see the airbags are at 30 psi. So if I want to just hit that, it activates the solenoid under the hood. I'll show you. And that, so, you know, say you air them up to 60, and then to let them out, it's just a mechanical switch here to drop it down. Pretty simple setup, and the only electric components are right here on the compressor. You got one solenoid for the air locker, one solenoid for the airbags, and then if you want to fill the stainless tank that's in the back, I put a ball valve in, so every time you turn the compressor on, it doesn't, you know, and if you want to fill that, you open the ball valve. Sorry about that loud noise there. If you remember in a previous video, I had the air hose connected directly to here, and when I was running it for a long time, it actually blew the air hose out because it got so hot. So now I have some Cupro nickel line going down, that way the air can cool before it enters the hose going to the back. He just pulled up in his brand new Wagoneer. Yes, back in the warehouse for the Grand Marquis. Cadillac in the future, but gotta get this one out of here now. So we got some keys for it, brought a jump pack, air up the tires. Looks like we got some good meat, a couple cobwebs. I don't know if you can see those. Do a quick spin around tour. Looks like missing a little piece of trim on the bottom, but check out those body lines. A couple dings in the door, got one there, one down here. And looking down, that's very straight and true. Original paint. Top on it, just perfect condition. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, the stitches are all kind of torn, so I mean, the material looks nice though. We'll see what's in that big old trunk. These are great cars, and the fact that it's a two-door, like, I don't think I've ever seen one of these in a two-door. Only one flat tire, and this one's still got holding some air. Look at that frame. This thing is an absolute cream puff underneath. Can't wait to get it up on the lift and see what we're really dealing with. But the interior, red, my absolute favorite color. I used to not like red interiors, but I do now. You see the bottom of this door, okay. It has some rust, but I mean, the factory pinch seam is still there. That could be cleaned up, but it'll come through the other side at some point. No storage in the door. How about that? No smells whatsoever. It smells fresher than my Tundra. Maybe a little bit of cigarette, like the tiniest bit of cigarette smell. Somebody might have been a smoker, yeah. Let's see. I mean, clean ashtray, but cigarette lighter's been used. We got AC for the hubcaps. Got the key. Ride engineered. See the dash pad. You got some cracks, but pretty good shape for the year. Only a couple cracks. The rest of it's totally fine. Last inspected June 2018. It's got the wing windows. Booyah. Oh, boom. Seals are in good shape too. This has been sitting indoors. Plastic handle on there, that's not broken. And power windows, power mirrors. You got cruise control and 96,000 miles, which I'm sure that hasn't rolled over based on the wear and tear. Sorry about the lighting. I'm trying to dial this light in, but in the warehouse it's a little dark. 1986 Grand Marquis key, however you like to call it. A funeral tag. Pop this hood open. Luckily no critters on the inside of the car. I'm sure, I mean, that interior will have to jump back, but I think I showed you guys pretty much everything. Look at that front end. Woo! Sharp, very sharp. Old school spring. Perfect. Can't beat it. Yes! The fuel injected 5.0. That is awesome to see. I bet you this thing will fire right up without any, I mean, worst case, we got some bad gas, but 2018, that's not that long ago. Could have been driven afterward too. The battery's stone cold dead. I did try turning the lights on when we were in there, but all complete. Don't see any evidence of critters. So I don't have a ton of time to mess with this here because he wants to come back and lock the place up here shortly. We got green coolant, about 6 inches down. I'll get that topped off. For the motor oil, no rust on the stick. Nice looking oil, right up to the max. Transmission, way overfilled, red, which is good since the vehicle's not running right now. Brake fluid, that's the train. Oh yeah, looking good. Definitely should have cleaned that off first. See if any critters got into the airbox. Nope, nothing, it's perfect. Looks like a brand new belt, and check that out. Fresh water pump that somebody must have just put this on before they parked it, along with new hoses as well. Hopefully that doesn't mean they had like an overheating issue and they were chasing something. I don't think that's the case at all. I mean, look, still got the factory stickers on the valve cover from calibration of the O2 sensors. I think these had like, yeah, they each have one O2 sensor on each side. Old school fuel injection, but super reliable. And you can see no mass airflow meter. This is speed density. Let's toss a battery in now and hopefully fire it right up. I've got a Marine starting battery that will hopefully fit fine. If not, I also brought this little 51R. That's should still have some life in it. Got the JF Eglo going to town on the tire back there. Good sound, that means it took air, filled up, 32 PSI preset. And are you guys ready to witness some Ford reliability? Ford at its finest. Watch this. Yep, key on, there's that pump kicking. Fuel still coming up. We got just under a half tank. I'm gonna cycle that a couple times, get some fresh gas and good pressure up there. And no throttle, no nothing. Okay, all right. Let her sit for a second. I know some of you guys are like, drain the old gas. Well, how could you do that to it? Prime the engine, the oil system. Well, it's primed now. Here we go. Boom. Look at that. I don't know why we got a fuel light on. Yeah. Oh man, I remember that sound. I think that's the air pump under the hood. She's a little unhappy with the old gas, but we'll just hopefully get over to the gas station, cut it with some Freshie. Be all right. It's just trying to learn how to idle again. That's what's great about these old fuel injected cars. At least the Ford ones, I could say. I don't know about tune port injection or none of that GM junk. But this thing is just tried and true, bulletproof. If the computer goes bad, worst case, it's like a diode in there. You could take a few screws off. Almost there, see, the cord itself. You can take the computer apart and rebuild them pretty easily. Just a matter of soldering in capacitors and diodes. Rebuildable computers, who'd have thought? Oh, yeah, that smells pretty bad. Sorry, fuel pump. Sorry, injectors. You'll be okay. You got a filter. Yeah! How about the windows? Look at that, brand new. Both sides. I gotta get out this door because he didn't have the key for the gate out this side. Butte. Even the wipers work. I'm perfect with that old gas, no detonation. Definitely want to cut her down though, so we don't want sticking valves or any other issues. Oh, the brakes feel like new. This is a nice driver, I'm telling you. Smooth shifting through all the gears, right up to highway speed. Little bit of shake at 55. Probably just those tires getting a little square from sitting. Very, very sticky steering wheel. Get that cleaned up. Stop at the Wawa here, fill her up. We're gonna go with some 93. That way cut down that old gas that has no octane left. Might as well pop the trunk too. Yep, that goes. See what's in there. Nothing. Spare tire though, and a bumper jack with 0 rust on it. Now you guys can't see that. Oh, we got some molding. Look at that thing. You could fit 10 bodies in there. It's so deep. It's not just, you know, it's not as long as like a Cadillac one would be, but this thing is a very deep trunk. That's like 4 feet deep, maybe 3.5. Oh, what's up with the lighting at this gas station? It's like real yellow. Maybe it keeps down on the bugs or something. Gauge is climbing and the light actually just went off. Treated her to a full tank, and look at that, the engine light's flickering on now. Come on, how you gonna do me? Maybe that's because it's idling so low, but it's not like that's the battery light, because it does have one of those too. We have made it back home. Good throttle response. All you hear under the hood is that darn emissions air pump. So loud. Pumps air into the exhausts for, I guess, proper catalytic converter operation or what have you. At least we got like a half a free car wash. Still some dirt running all around, but I guess might as well. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. She's gonna shine nice tomorrow when the sun's out. Get all leaves out of there. Spray this down, hope it doesn't stall out. The best time to wash a car is in the rain. Look at that vinyl. Top is perfect, minus the stitching, but a little glue over that. I don't know, it might even be fine. I mean, you could eat off of that. I think this is the first car I've ever hand dried. Most of what I have is just junk, and I'm not a very cosmetic person, but this is kind of nice. I think she deserves a wax job. Okay, I'll admit, part of the reason I'm hand drying it is because I don't want all this moisture in the garage. Oh, taking a tour underneath front tires. We got some Jetson Innovations DOT 26th week of 2012. Those are good shape, no dry rot, plenty of tread. And oh, look at that frame. The Panther platform, no rust at all. That frame is beautiful. We got some radiator support, just surface rust on there. Brand new sway bar links. I'm just noticing this is. I thought these were aluminum for a second because I saw what looked like corrosion, but this has got plastic brake rotor shields on it, and you can see this side started getting all melted. It's probably why they stopped using them. Catch on fire, you know. That one was definitely smoking real bad or on fire. But you can see just before it was parked, brand new caliper, which is probably why. That one was sticking. This one's not sticking anymore at all. Did a shakedown on the front end. 0 play. Here's that air pump I was telling you about. I actually had one of these on my 86 Mustang back in the day and took it apart. There's just a bunch of veins in there. It's very noisy. When you rev the engine, they sell a little delete pulley if you want to get rid of them, but it blows air into the exhaust past the upper cat. So you got these 2 upper cats. And this is an aftermarket. Somebody welded in factory 3 cats otherwise. So yeah, it blows air in and I guess just helps with burning off the emissions. So these just have an O2 sensor on each bank. Upstream, a little bit of rust on those brake lines. Aftermarket exhaust. That pinch weld, good shape. This is a fuel filter. Should definitely get one of those because I'm sure after filling up the tank, moisture over time and sediment stirred up, you know, and we just drove it. Got a rust hole through the trunk floor. Yep. Yeah, I wonder how that happened. There's the carpet there though. A little bit of rust here on this seam. I know body guy. I'm sure I'm always saying that, but I'm sure an auto body guy would just chew this thing all apart. Yeah, a couple more little rust holes starting on that side. Surprising, really. But then again, you don't see too many of these on the road, and it's probably because they rotted all apart. So this seam, rotten apart, but that's an easy fix because you could cut this and slap something up in there. You'll never see it since it has the trim. At least that's my thoughts on it. But I mean, look at the frame, guys. That is brand spanking new. Just an all-around survivor that was well taken care of, and it's gonna make somebody extremely happy. If I had a hangar to keep all these cars in, this would be a keeper. In fact, it'd be a good replacement for the Torino, but I mean, we drove that home from Vegas, and we have so many good memories in it that I don't think Jen's gonna want to replace it with this. There you are.
Whoa.
You ready for dinner?
When did you sneak this one in the garage?
Pretty nice, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe keep this instead of Torino?
Maybe.
Feel those plush seats. Oh, how about you, Gus? You came out? You want to do your sniff inspections? Get in there. Go get them out.
Come here, Gus.
Oh. He almost took his pill. This reminds me of my childhood right here. You remember these?
Yeah, my dad had one.
It's like identical.
Something like it. Steering wheel.
What is this?
It's a little sticky.
New car. Yeah, really sticky, yeah. Hey, don't
Smells
you dig that up.
great, though.
Doesn't it?
Not
Yeah.
a smell to be smelled.
He had his couple car fresheners in there. I feel like it smelled a little bit like cigarettes. I don't know. Maybe the tiniest
I
bit.
don't notice it.
Look at the roof or the headliner. It's perfect.
This
Get
is like
you.
the first car, older car that has a nice headliner. Can I start it?
If you'd like to.
What was that?
I popped the trunk at the same time. Fuel injected. Purrs like a kitten.
Oh, wow.
Hop in.
They put all the bodies in here, didn't they?
Yeah, you could stack
Did you get it from an Italian guy?
10 deep. Actually, yes. Oh!
I don't know where the trunk release is.
We gotta turn the key on. I figured there would have been a little pull in here, but anyway, it's just got a couple rust holes on the side. You see, look, right there, and the bigger one on the other side, but that doesn't affect operation.
Small potatoes.
Yo, when's Mommy's next video coming out, huh, Gus? Everybody's asking. Let's go, buddy. Come on. Get on out of there. I can't get over the handling on this car. It is just handles like a darn cloud, shifts perfectly. This nice braking, no tire screech even on these old tires. Got good airflow with the wing window. It's unbeatable. Good spot to get some pictures right here. Train's always going by. Love that it has the original radio in it. Works perfect.
this experience.
I don't know. Kind of falling in love with this car. Suppose I'll put a feeler ad up and see what the deal is. I love how both the driver and passenger door have ashtrays with a cigarette lighter in them. Not that I smoke, but how classy. And check out this feature. At nighttime, if you can't find your keyhole, you just pull up on the handle, a little light goes on. How about that? And now, in honor of all things random, we're gonna take a look inside of this old building in front of me for no particular reason. Just because I was passing by and I know this land was just purchased recently. They're going to be turning it into warehousing all right behind it. And I noticed it had a window open, so I figured, what the heck, we'll scoot on in. But it looks like this has already been broken into. Oh, that one's still locked. Oh, or not. Okay, well, let me do a quick perimeter check before we go ahead. That wouldn't be breaking and entering. Stand by our flag, not on it. Levittown Lions Club. I'm just glancing over that way because I see this guy working on some trucks outside. Well, it seems the coast is clear. Well, let's check it out. I know, super random, but you know, this is kind of where the channel got started, is doing urban exploration randomly. Shouldn't say it's exactly where it got started, but oof, it smells like heating oil really bad in here, and I see it all over the ground, soaked into the carpet. Hello? Security here. Announce yourself or be on site. This is a nice size shop. It's a shame that they're going to be knocking this down, or at least that's the way it was told to me. The heating oil, oh my gosh, it's coming out of this tank, and that's a bad leak. I should probably report this. I'm assuming there's an outside tank, or heck, I'll come and pump it out, because that's not good. It's getting soaked into the ground. River's right behind us. By the way, there's a massive property just behind. I've been out there, explored that all a while ago, and not much to see in there, but you know, they're clearing it all out and going to be putting warehouses, as I already said. It's a shame because it's such a beautiful river property. It's like, could be used for so many cooler things or whatever, but you know, it's going to be warehousing. This whole area here's kind of warehousing. Wind just closed the door. It's got the NAPCO security system. You can dig your fingers right into that. Oh yeah, I like it. Can you get down with that? You got some 96-inch T12 bulbs. This is just a bathroom. That's where we came in, over on the other side. Hello. Sometimes I just sit here and listen for a while. Yeah, it smells like somebody was living in here for a while. Somebody called this home. That file cabinet's nice. Yeah, Comcast and everything. And here's his shower. Hers. The toilet. Nice convenient setup, huh? Or maybe, you know, somebody who was working at the shop and living here, or owner operator, whatever the case. You got a bunch of old gaskets on the ground, head gasket. This wooden workbench. Another heating oil tank. Oh, that's fully cool. That's probably used motor oil would be my guess, but yep, that's exactly what it is in there. Oh darn, my light just died. I got a second light. It's not quite as bright. Oxyacetylene hoses, and man, that wind keeps creeping me out. Got some old records. And yeah, this was like the boss's room, I guess. I don't know, hanging out. yelling down at the boys. Hey, get back to work. All right, well, that pretty much concludes the tour. So let's go find out what's up with that heating oil tank. And then I actually saw a cab over that I want to go talk to a guy that I saw outside and see what the scoop is with it. I was over there talking to him a little bit, but he doesn't seem too interested in selling any of these or working on them. But he's got some really cool rigs, like this whole Mack truck that's just falling apart. Look at that unit right there. What is that? Is that the air filter? However, the one that piqued my interest was this cab over. I apologize for the low lighting out here right now. Check that. It's a GMC. That's a very cool truck. So maybe we could talk him into doing something with these in the future. They're all just sitting. What plant is this? This looks like a brain. I've seen these before. I forget what they're called, but that's a northeastern coconut. And I'm sorry, I almost forgot about this fuel oil leak that is still going steady. I'm gonna go get some pliers or something to cap that off better. I was just looking outside though, there is no tank. So I'm guessing it's a below grade, and if you look right here, you can see it's got caved in about a foot or so. I drove equipment over it, probably collapsed the tank and pressure up. Never mind. Here we go. Yeah, that's like almost full too. It's definitely water on the top, but Lord knows how much heating oil is on the bottom. Let's drop this big rod down. Let's see what we got. Okay, sludgy on the bottom. And that is all water, actually. So I don't know if that is a heating oil tank, or if it was one, it's completely full of water. So that's how much head it's got. Not too much. You know, it's all I had to do actually was just stand it up. Why didn't I think? Why didn't they think when they cut it? Instead of letting it just piss everywhere. Because this is running right outside. I know they don't use heating oil everywhere throughout our country, but over here in the east it's very common in Pennsylvania. And in case you've never smelled it, it's like diesel, but just stinky sulfur. The smell, real nasty stuff. If you spilled on the ground, you'll never get that smell out. And it's like if you lit a match on this right now, it would go up because there's carpets here. But if you just poured it on the concrete, it wouldn't really do much. It needs some kind of a wick, wood or something. On its own, at room temperature, it's not that volatile. Well, I'll just leave it up, and I am going to go ahead and report this spill because I hope they do the proper thing with the soil here. All right, I got the Grand Marquis posted up on Marketplace for $8,500. Some of you might think that's double what it's worth, but I did see a really clean one sell on eBay for close to $10,000. Got those crispy clean photos. I'll see what kind of interest it brings in. Depending, I might end up doing all the fluid changes on it too, new fuel filter, etc. I'd like to drive it some more as well, but buy them, drive them, sell them. That's my motto. Otherwise, you end up with headaches unless you have an interior place to keep them that's climate controlled. This video was a little weird, all over the place, and I knew that when I started it. I was like, man, I don't have an hour-long video on anything. I knew the Grand Marquis was probably going to be pretty turnkey, as it was. I figured I'd just bring you guys along with me, and if you don't like hearing me talk, then you probably didn't like this one. So appreciate you guys very much for tuning in, especially if you have this far. All you guys that have supported me throughout this whole journey, you know who you are. I thank you very, very much. I did also want to show you couple items that Adam from over in Arizona sent to the P.O. box. He handmade these out of some aluminum C-channel. This one's polished. I don't want to fingerprint it all up. He said if you do, it's going to be a bear to repolish. Look, you can see me. Hey, these are really neat. They each have 50 stars on them too, and look at the cuts. I mean, he got that dead balls precision. So he sent one for Jen and one for me. I think I'm going to keep the non-polished one in the garage, hanging up on the wall. It'll stay clean. She can put that in her workspace. So thank you very much for those, Adam. He expressed interest in maybe making these to sell them, but he's like, they took so long. So if one of you guys are interested, drop a comment, get in contact with him. Pretty cool, made in USA. And then over here, my buddy Matt, who does all the hat embroidery and t-shirt printing, ships all that down in Cherry Hill. He did a few test samples with his new laser etcher that he got on. I sent him some of the old wood from the NNKH garage, got a whole bunch of this for projects. So if this was something you guys would be interested in to see on the website, let me know. That's how it comes out. Or I was thinking about getting or even making a large branding iron, but probably wouldn't get the small font if we did that. So if that's something you guys, you know, there's one that's smaller. If that's something you guys would be interested in, let me know. And then Matt sent me over a 500K placard. Check that out. Since, you know, YouTube doesn't do anything for 500K, just 100,000 and a million. So that's really cool. I'll get that up on the wall too. Thanks very much for that, Nat. And again, thanks guys for the awesome 2023. Hope to do a bunch of more fun trips and shenanigans in 2024. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve. Want to wish you guys all a happy new year and wish you good luck in 2024. Thanks for watching. See you soon.
This is how Gus eats his food. He picks out all the bad ones he doesn't like and he spits them out. There's really no good ones in here. There it is. No, I was just setting these ones aside. These are the only good ones in the whole bunch. So a little different that time. Hey Gus, we got you a surprise. Something from the rum ham. Oh, what do we got here? Hold, hey, sit. Okay, you can chew on that ham bone for a little while. All right, what's that? That's some good stuff. Oh my gosh, I'm in heaven.